What's up, guys? It's Bumpkins. Today is Wednesday, April 20th. Wednesday means New Comic Book Day. New Comic Book Day means New Comic Book Haul video. As always, I went down to Infinity Flux here in Chattanooga, Tennessee for what might be the smallest stack of books I've gotten since I got back into collecting physical books about a year and a half ago. And not even all of these are new. Some of these are dollar issues, so the stack of new books is even smaller. It was just a light week, and sometimes that happens in comics. Sometimes you just have a light week. But I did offset the smaller stack with some extra goodies as well that I'll show you in a few minutes. But real quick, guys, if you need a comic book shop, if you're looking to start a pull list somewhere, maybe you don't have a shop near you, you need one, or you have one but you want a better one, reach out to Infinity Flux. They'll be tagged in the description below. Let them know that you want to start a pull list. If you're in the US, they will ship around the country, so you can contact them, start a pull list. They are also on Whatnot now. They've done, I think, 3 or 4 Whatnot streams where they're selling all kinds of cool stuff. They did a stream of incentive covers the other day. Earlier tonight, they did some cool older Star Wars toys. So that was really fun. So if you're on Whatnot and you are looking to buy some awesome books for some really great people, check them out on Whatnot. Let's go ahead and get started, though. Starting with Marvel. It's crazy that Marvel was this light, but we will start with Captain America #0. So this is a kickoff book, if you will, because Steve Rogers, Captain America, and Sam Wilson, Captain America, are each getting their own ongoing series. I think Sam Wilson starts first, and I can't remember if it's April or May. I think it's May. But this serves as a one-shot to get both of those books started. So this issue was pretty fun. It actually felt like a Silver or a Bronze Age Marvel comic, especially the opening pages. You've got Arnim Zola monologuing, and he's hiding a rocket that he's going to launch into space, but he's hiding it in a big tall building that the sides just collapse, and the rocket takes off, and he's going to turn humanity into dinosaurs or something. I'm not real sure. It's just the two Captain Americas, or Captains America, I guess, fighting him and stopping his plan. It was really fun. The art was really interesting. I don't know that I've seen this artist before, but I really liked the art. The story was fun. The only thing is, I thought this was going to kick off the storyline for Sam Wilson, which it kind of did, but also kick off the story for Steve Rogers, which it really didn't. This really just more serves the purpose of getting you used to the fact and establishing the fact that there are now going to be just 2 official Captains America. So this is a nice one and done. If you don't want to read those, but you want to read a fun Captain America story, you could read this and you would be pleasantly entertained. So I had to get the Mark Brooks wraparound cover, which was super cool. It's got basically all of the Captain America family, if you will. Steve Rogers, Sharon Carter, Bucky, all kinds of people on the back. Sam Wilson and Crossbones, U.S. Agent, all kinds of people on the front. So really cool cover there. But of course, I had to also get the Spider-Man 60th anniversary cover just because these are awesome. Next up is Hulk #6, the Spider-Man 60th anniversary cover as well. So this is the conclusion of the first story arc, Smashtronaut, I think is what it was called. And I gotta tell you, I've said it before, but this story is so bizarre, but it is interesting that I do want to keep reading it. Well, I mean, I have read it all the way through. And it's not necessarily the Hulk story that I want, but it's one that I am enjoying, even though it's so far out there from your typical Hulk story. I didn't read Immortal Hulk, so I understand that's pretty far out there too. But we get to see something cool in here, where when Bruce Banner hulks out, he becomes the Hulk. When Amadeus Cho hulks out, he became his version of the Hulk. Or General Ross hulked out, he became Red Hulk. And there's so many people that have their versions of the Hulk. But what happens if the Hulk hulks out? And that's what we see in here. And I won't say anything else about that, but it's pretty cool. The end of this issue leads into Banner of War, the crossover with Thor, which is going to be pretty interesting. I don't know anything about that because I haven't been reading Thor, but I'm excited about it. So this was an interesting end to this first story arc, and I'm really interested to see where it goes. I guess we've got the Banner of War storyline next, which is another one of those cool crossovers where there's just like one single issue that gets it kicked off, and then the rest of it just weaves in and out of Hulk and Thor, and you don't have to buy a bunch of tie-in issues, and you don't have to buy 6 or 7 issues of the main crossover. It's just a crossover story between 2 books, bookended by 1 or 2 books, and that's it. So I can't wait for that, and I can't wait to see where it goes even after that. And then it's crazy to say, but the third and final Marvel book for this week is Shang-Chi number 11, also the Spider-Man variant. So I didn't even realize this until I was putting these books together earlier. But all 3 Marvel books, well, I mean, I bought the other one too, but the 3 individual Marvel books I bought were all the Spider-Man covers, so that's pretty cool. Shang-Chi number 11 is super cool still. We get introduced to the Jade Emperor, who has a really cool design at the beginning of the issue. And this, we see Shang-Chi and the other heads of the 5 Weapon Society go up against the Jade Emperor and trying to rescue his mother. Shang-Chi gets a hold of something that is going to set up the next big story arc that he's going to go through. So I believe this run ends with issue number 12 next issue, and then it starts a whole other series. Starts over with a number 1. I hate when they do that, but this sets that up. So the art was really cool. There was a lot of cool action, and I'm really excited to see where this goes next. As for DC, it was a really light DC week as well, but we have got a Batman Superman World's Finest number 2. Already one of my favorite DC books that are coming out right now. And I feel like I say that with almost every DC title, but in my opinion, they're just putting out a lot of really good stuff right now. So World's Finest number 2, I actually had this thought in the shop because they had this and the B cover, and I was trying to pick which one. This comic feels like a classic Bronze Age comic. It feels like a classic, early 80s issue of Brave and the Bold World's Finest with Superman and Batman. Art by Dan Mora is phenomenal. He's one of my favorite artists right now. You've got Robin in here. Another super character makes an appearance. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to spoil anything. But we have some members of another group that showed up last issue. And there's some wacky antics going on. And it's so much fun. It's really, really fun. But it's not like over-the-top goofy. It's just entertaining. And it's not too heady. It's not too dark. You don't have to think about it too hard. It's just really good fun, fantastic art. The reason I mentioned the covers is because this feels like a classic book. I wanted to stick with the classic cover because the other one was from Tim Sale, which was really nice, but it looked like a more modern cover. And I want to keep the classic feel of this series as much as possible. So I just went with the A cover because it feels classic. Superman and Batman. Superman's all smiles. Batman's all stern looking. You got the Doom Patrol on there. Just a classic. You guys know, if you watch my History of Marvel videos, I love the classics. I love the Bronze Age stuff. And this feels like that. I cannot recommend this book highly enough. This is so much fun. Next up is The Flash 781. Not much to say about it because I'm super duper behind on Flash. But I can't wait to catch up on it. I've said before, I'm trying to read through Flash, starting with 2016's Rebirth, or Flash number 1 from the Rebirth era all the way through this. I'm about 30 issues in, I think, but I still got a lot more to go. But I can't wait to get to this. Next up, The Nice House on the Lake number 8. Another one of my favorite books from DC right now. And you guys know, I say it every time this comes up. I love this series. I love it so much. I will have all the single issues by the time the series is finished. And I'm also going to get the trade. If it comes out a hardcover, I'll get that too. Because I love it, love it, love it so much. However, 8 issues in, it's time for a little bit of criticism. We've only got 4 issues left out of this, or after this. There's only 4 issues left. And I feel like the story hasn't made a lot of progress. Like, the characters are still in the house. They still don't know what's going on. And something happened in issue 6, which was the last one before they took a few months break. But something happened in issue number 6, which sort of made the story take a couple steps backwards. And they haven't recovered that yet. So I love this book, and this was a fantastic issue as well. But I feel like the story, especially in this issue, the story didn't move forward at all. Except for maybe the last page, there was a little bit of a mystery thrown in there, a little bit of a cliffhanger that I can't wait to see what that's about. But other than that, we're still in the same place that we were several issues ago, and I just kind of assumed that with only 4 issues left, we would be a little bit further now. So I am for sure going to finish this series out because I love it so much, and I highly recommend it to all of you. If you haven't read it, or if you're looking for something cool to read, I highly recommend this title. But yeah, we got to call a spade, and I hope this story picks up a little bit. Next up is Nightwing number 91. I'm still super duper behind on Nightwing. I did read the issue, I think it was 89, the team up, or the little 2-issue crossover with John Kent. That was super fun. I tried to go rogue on issue 90 and just read from there. I didn't know what was going on, so this is going to go on the Bat Box, and eventually I will catch up with the last like 2-3 years worth of Bat books. I can't wait to get to this. And last from DC, Catwoman Lonely City number 3. I have read the first 2 issues. Unfortunately, I did not get the chance to read this one yet. I've heard some really, really good things though. But this is a really interesting story. I love the art. I love the idea that it's 10 years later and the Joker and Batman and Gordon and Nightwing, they're all dead, and Selina's getting out of prison, and all she wants to do is to get into the Batcave to find out what Orpheus is. I don't know what it is, and she doesn't either, but I can't wait to find out. So, yeah, this is a good series. I think there's one more issue. I don't think this is the end. I think there's one more. But regardless, I can't wait to read this because I'm enjoying the series. And last, for the new books, I don't even have any Image single issues this week, but I did get one from Source Point Press called Corollary. This is the first issue, I think, of a 4-issue miniseries, and this is set in a galaxy where everything has a twin. Every building, every person or being or whatever, everything has a twin, a double. And if the double or the twin dies, then the other one does as well. Everything's in pairs, basically. Except for her. She doesn't have a pair. Or actually and it's explained early on, she did. She had a twin, a sister, who died, but she did not. And what is the mystery behind that? It's actually kind of interesting. I didn't expect this. We do find out why. I won't say why, but we do find out why. And it's interesting, and I don't know how that's going to play out. I thought this was pretty okay, but I think I'm not going to go forward, although I might pick it up in trade. It was an interesting story. I just don't know if it's one I need every month, but I think I probably will get in trade, actually, because with the way it ended, I want to see where that goes and how other people react to it. But I don't know that I need it every month, so yeah, I think it's a trade for me. So the other half of the small stack I showed you was dollar issues. I got a few cool ones here. You guys know, I mentioned it last week and maybe even the week before. I love these 90s Image books full of these big ideas that didn't ever really go anywhere. And I found another one today. I found a Spawn Wildcats miniseries, I guess. I guess Spawn and Wildcats hang out. I loved Spawn in the 90s. I loved Wildcats in the 90s. So I like the art on this cover. I have flipped through it, and the art looks... I mean, it looks pretty cool. There's Grifter, and they're holding Spawn right there. I don't know why, but yeah, I think according to CLZ, this is like a 4 or a 5-issue miniseries, or it was. Oh, it's written by Alan Moore too. Holy cow! So this was a 5-issue miniseries. I think they only had the first issue, but for $1, I thought, yeah, I mean, I love these 90s Image books that that probably weren't collected ever, or if they were, they're out of print. So I thought I'd try it out. And speaking of 90s Image books that probably weren't collected, or actually I think this one was, but I'm for sure it's out of print, and I don't think it's available digitally either, I picked up a 5 issues of, I think, a 12-issue series called Soul Saga. I believe this one was created by Stephen Platt. You guys probably know Stephen Platt. He did, Prophet, the early days of Prophet. He did some infamous Moon Knight covers. I think he drew Moon Knight for a while in the 90s. I always thought he was cool because he signed his name Splat. I always thought that was cool. So this looks like a sort of a sword and sorcery type book, kind of reminiscent of Battle Chasers. Maybe I'm thinking that because this cover is by Joe Mad. But yeah, this is another one where it was a 90s Image book. This is from the Top Cow imprint. I don't know anything about this, but I just thought it was cool, and since they had the first 5 issues, I thought I would get it. So a couple of B covers here. That like I said, I don't know who any of these people are, but the covers are cool. I like this one, number 4 right here. I love art like this with big dudes with big armor and big swords and stuff. So I just thought it looked cool, and for $5 for the first 5 issues, I thought I'd try it out. I also got something that I love looking through this stuff. I've talked about Wizard Magazine before. Back in the 90s, if you guys weren't around in the 90s or you weren't collecting in the 90s, Wizard Magazine was awesome because we didn't have the internet, and Wizard Magazine was one of the only ways we could read about the things going on in the comic industry, fan castings of movies or comics that were coming soon or brand new projects from new creators, that kind of thing. I used to have every issue of Wizard starting with number 5, and years ago I foolishly threw them all in the recycle bin. I did find a good stack of them I don't know where they are now. So I do have probably a couple dozen issues, but it's certainly not the full collection. But today, I did find the Wizard spotlighting the Top Cow universe. So this is a special edition of Wizard that focuses on all the Top Cow stuff like Cyberforce and Witchblade and the Darkness, and I don't remember all these other series. I flipped through it today, and it's got interviews with creators from Top Cow and top 10 lists of all kinds of stuff. I mean, I love that design for the Darkness. I think it's so cool. I can't wait to read my 2 compendiums of that. But yeah, for $1, I just love these nostalgia trips through Wizard magazine. Looking back on it now, we sort of realize that Wizard probably wasn't the greatest thing ever, but I'm telling you, at the time, when it's kind of one of the only things we had, it was awesome. And then last from the dollar bin, and I'm actually not sure if it should have been there, but it was in there, so Jason and Megan, if this wasn't supposed to be $1, please don't get mad, I didn't know. It was just in the box with all the other ones, but this is the trade paperback for Falcon, the Falcon series. I don't know if it's a limited series or not. That came out in 2017. This is the first 8 issues of Falcon, so this is after Steve Rogers came back to be Captain America, and Sam Wilson went back to being the Falcon. Of course, we just talked about how he's Captain America again. But for a while, he went back to being Falcon. I had never planned on getting a trade of this. I was just going to read this on a Marvel Unlimited one day. But the whole trade, the first 8 issues, was in the dollar bin. So maybe it's because it's got a pretty gnarly bin on the bottom corner and in the top 2. I don't know, but for $1, I thought, well, yeah, I'll grab an 8-issue trade for $1. Why not? But the fun doesn't stop there. You guys know that I can't truly have a light week, so whatever money I didn't spend on a big stack of regular books, I have to offset that with some cool collected editions. So I picked up A Thing Called Truth from Image. I did read the first issue of this when it came out, and I enjoyed it, but I instantly recognized that it was probably going to be a story better read in trade. I enjoyed what I read. I wanted to read more, but I wanted to wait for this, and I'm glad I did. I don't remember much about the story. These 2 characters, one is a scientist and one knows no fear, I think is what it says, and they go on a road trip for some reason. I don't really know why, but again, I did enjoy the first issue whenever it was. I read it way back when, and now I can't wait to read the whole thing. Another trade from Image is Vinyl. So I think I actually read the first 3 issues of this. I was buying this in regular issues. I think maybe I missed number 4. Something made me sort of fall out of it. But then I thought, you know what, that's okay, because again, probably better read in trade, so here it is. I think this collects 5 issues, or whatever the run was. 5 or 6, yeah, 6 issues. So I'm definitely gonna have to start this one over again, because I don't really remember much about it. I think the story involves some kind of cult, and I dig stories with cults. I don't know why, that's weird, but I just find them kind of interesting. So yeah, I can't wait to read this one as well. And last but not least, I know you guys love when I get one of these, and I love it too. I picked up the Captain Britain Omnibus. This actually came out last week, but I picked it up today. I hope it's good, because I've never read any of these old Captain Britain stories. I don't even know that much about Captain Britain from his time in Excalibur. I certainly don't know much about his backstory at all, but I'm interested in reading. Like, I've always kind of dug that costume design. I just sort of wanted to read more, and sure, you know, all this stuff is on Marvel Unlimited, but, you know, it's cool having the big omnibus. This collects Captain Britain 1 through 39 from 76, and then a whole bunch of other Captain Britain stuff from the 70s and 80s. I think some of this was published in the UK. I don't know if it ever made it over here, like in regular issues. Again, clearly, I don't know much about this at all, but it's super cool to have the omnibus. There's some black and white stuff in here. There's some colored issues in here. I mean, it's all good looking stuff, and I can't wait to tear into this one. And that's it, guys. Like I said, probably the lightest week I've ever had since I got back into collecting physical books about 1.5 years ago, but that's okay. I mean, there was still some really good stuff in here, and actually looking ahead at my pre-order list for next week is a monster, so I'm okay with this being a light week, because we're about to get slammed next week. So it's all well and good. Guys, I appreciate you watching this video. If you like this video or any of the other videos on my channel, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, give it a sarcastic thumbs up. And if nothing else, let me know what you picked up this week. Was it a light week for you as well? Did you find yourself buying less, buying more, omnibuses, trades, whatever you got? Just let me know what you picked up. I love comic books. I could talk about them with a room full of people or just to a camera. Guys, don't forget, comic books are supposed to be fun. They are just another fun form of storytelling fun stories, fun art, pure entertainment. There is plenty out there that everybody can look through, find something that fits their tastes and fits the kind of things that they like to read. And it's super easy to simply ignore the things that don't interest you and let everybody else enjoy those things. Also, don't forget that it doesn't matter how much you buy each week or each month. What makes a great comic book haul is that the things that you get are special to you, get you excited, make you want to sit down and read comics, whether it's 1 book, 10 books, 100 books. It doesn't matter how many, as long as you are excited and happy to have this stuff. So guys, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.